college football show presented by Panera. It's week 5 of college football, and it's been a wild few weeks for us guys at Barstool. And last week we had a very contentious show. Are we going to get along today?
I always get along. I get along with everybody. That's my deal. Davey, get along.
Davey, get along.
That's okay. I'm ready. I feel great. I got a great sweatshirt on.
You do have a great sweatshirt on.
It was a different studio last week too. I think that was leading to some of
That's
the tension.
true.
We're back at home this week.
There was a
Everyone's
lot
getting
of tension on the set, Tommy. I apologize for getting
No,
mad at you.
I mansplained.
You
I
did
mansplained.
He did mansplain to me. He did
What can I
mansplain,
say?
but we've made up. And Dan is wearing a Wisconsin
Bye week.
sweatshirt.
This is my bye week sweatshirt.
They wanted you to have them in
Big
your,
win.
like number 8 now
We'll
or
find
something.
out. Big win. Kayce, I actually had a question for you. Big
Oh, boy.
picture question for you before we get to the games. Are you a little upset that Kelly Bryant transferred after the Texas A&M game? Because I actually think Texas A&M wins that game if Kelly Bryant's not there.
He absolutely was the reason that they won.
That
but at the
fourth
same
quarter,
time,
he brought the consistency back to them.
he did. I mean, he was going to transfer, right? As soon as they said that Trevor Lawrence was going to play.
Yeah, but it's just that you wish that had happened a couple weeks earlier, because I think it would have made a big difference.
A&M would have still lost to Alabama, though. Okay, so weekend preview game number 5 is West Virginia versus Texas Tech. Texas Tech is +3.5. This is in Lubbock. So Cliff Kingsbury got his team back on track. These are two friends of the program, by the
2
way.
weeks in a row.
2
2
weeks
weeks in a row, he's gotten back on track.
Yeah, I
Two
mean,
friends and two friends of the program.
Yeah, 2 friends of the program. So Big 12's best offense versus Big 12's best defense. You've got Will Greer versus the freshman Alex Bauman at Texas Tech. And I mean, this game they're gonna score 100 points at this point. I mean, these two teams are insane.
I don't know about that.
You don't?
Well, Dave and I were big kickoff start time guys. The noon kickoff, which is 11 in Texas,
Very
that
true.
is a detriment to points. I think maybe a lot of points in the second half. I think it's going to be a little feeling out period.
First quarter
especially.
under, if you can do it.
Yeah, feeling out period. Texas Tech's coming off a huge road win. So, I mean, you kind of have to take West Virginia here just because Texas Tech's going to have a little letdown.
Is it too early for a fun fact about the under?
No,
Is it
give
too
it to
early?
me.
The under is 6-2 in the last 8 West Virginia games.
So you just totally
Yeah, they're-
contradicted yourself.
Well, I think
They're-
Texas Tech is going to score a bunch of points. And
But
I think
West Virginia's
I'm
defense.
just letting you know.
West Virginia's
This is a fun
defense
fact.
got a little bit of bite.
I do not think this will be a letdown for Texas Tech. I know what you're saying, they're coming off a huge win, but I don't believe in college football you have letdowns in clearly huge games. Like, I just don't. Like,
But the noon. The
no,
11
noon, I
a.m.
know, but
11 a.m.
this isn't the trap of, we're looking
Yeah,
past
but the
somebody.
11 a.m.
How do you get to Lubbock?
I mean, it takes forever.
Have you ever been?
Yes.
So how do you get there?
I mean, you drive.
From
There's,
where?
there's an airport in Lubbock, which is very.
Yeah, it would
Yeah, I
take
mean,
a
it's in the
long
middle of nowhere. It
But
takes like
it's-
forever to get there.
Yeah, so that could be something. I mean,
Like it's in the middle, like it's like Lubbock, and then there's just like farms for like hundreds of miles.
This is going to be a very good game. It really is. I think if I had to bet, I would go Texas Tech. I like the points at home, but this is a coin flip. And Texas Tech, though, I said this before, the weird thing about Texas Tech, and this is, again, an eyeball memory type thing I'm rolling with right here. I feel like Texas Tech is tougher on the road a lot of times than they are at home. Like, I feel like they throw duds in at home, where it's like, oh, the home field advantage. And you got nothing to do. Like, that's why there's no letdown. I mean, Texas Tech literally, you want to talk about A&M, nothing to do. Texas Tech, they literally got nothing to do.
Yeah.
This is all they live for. So this is probably the biggest Saturday of the year for this
11
game.
a.m.
11 a.m., that hurts. But
They
I'm
drink
gonna
a
go.
lot there, though. So 11 a.m. is
Well,
not
that-
problem. They're just going to stay.
When you have nothing to do, you do 2 things. You drink and play pool.
Or milk cows.
And watch football.
At Texas A&M.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
watch
well.
football. But you drink and play pool.
What about darts?
Dangerous.
I love darts.
Could be dangerous.
I'm taking West Virginia, and that's not because Dana Holgerson is one of my very good friends, Hank's best friend.
I like Dana.
Yeah.
He's a one-bite
He's
guy.
a crazy person in the best way.
Dana
also-
Holgerson has.
He rocks a great, like, bald haircut.
Yeah, I've been a guest at his home, slept over his house.
How is it?
Have you really?
Great.
Did
He
you
has
sleep
this
in
little,
bunk beds?
He has this little like guest house that's like probably about 800 square feet. That's just like it's out in his backyard. It's awesome. Slept in
big.
there.
I can't visualize 800 square feet. You tell me that's a mansion or like a
It's,
miniature house?
no, it's like
It's like a
a one bedroom
studio
apartment,
apartment,
but
yeah.
it's like in his backyard.
Yeah.
So it's pretty
Okay.
nice. Be a great guy, and I'm taking West Virginia
I'm
for
taking-
that
I
reason.
am too. Will Greer, I'm pretty sure, has been in college for
He's also
like
a
9
friend of the
years.
program.
Yes.
We pretty
Shout
much
out
got him busted
the
with
life
steroids.
Correct. with Sophie Julia.
Yeah, little life program for those who don't remember. Sophie Julia was at Florida. It's like, oh, what are those like steroids on your calendar?
If a guy wants to like get big, what would you recommend? Like your mom's a nutritionist.
Yeah. I mean, you just gotta eat. I mean, it's all about your diet. I mean, you can work out until you puke, but you gotta eat, right? You just gotta
Protein?
heavy carbs, protein for recovery, but not as much protein. You gotta eat a lot of carbs.
Next week, suspended for steroids.
And I feel like that video came out 6 years ago,
It
so
did.
he's
Yeah.
got to be like
He was
27 at this
making out
point.
at our Super Bowl party like a decade ago.
So I'm
Seriously.
taking Will
Do we
Greer,
have
the
video of that?
27-year-old quarterback.
No, I
No
don't.
video of that.
Eyeballs.
My hard and fast rule is if I might be on, there's a chance I might be on a play card, you got to bet on that team.
Oh, you're always in the West Virginia.
Yeah,
play card.
they just go through.
every week.
They must just have like a bunch of them. Hey, I think they sent me one once, but I lost it.
Well, and Cliff Kingsbury has been on comeback season. So, I mean, two friends of the program. I'm going to
Yes.
take Texas Tech on this one. People.
Me and you.
Yeah, Texas Tech. I love Lubbock, even though it's in the middle of nowhere. It's the first place I ever got drunk, actually. That's a fun fact.
That is a fun fact.
First time I've ever gotten drunk was
Also,
in.
the first person who's
in
ever said they love Lubbock.
I love Lubbock just because you party there.
Stop
I actually
pandering.
don't like the city of Lubbock.
Kayce,
I like
please
to party
don't
in
pander.
Lubbock. I'm not pandering. How am I
not-
pandering?
I
I mean, I
tweeted
like
Lubbock
Cliff
is
Kingsbury,
I
so I can't
tweeted-
insult him.
No,
I
don't
tweeted this
pander to
morning.
Lubbock.
I tweeted this morning that I'm going to be nice today, so I am not going to bring up the fact you said I love Lubbock. I actually don't like Lubbock.
I love to
within a
party in
span
Lubbock.
of 5
Big of you.
seconds.
That's big of you.
She did
That's-
that.
that's
She
big.
said, I love
Okay,
Lubbock, I don't love Lubbock.
Let me
No man's
clarify.
point of
But
I
if
love
I-
Lubbock because it was the first place I ever got drunk. I don't like to go back to visit Lubbock.
So I think
Nostalgia.
So it's
have
like you never-
fond
you never
memory-
forget
you
your
have
first.
You have fond memories
Never
of
forget your first, and I had like 2 Smirnoff Ices and got
How
drunk
old
in
were you?
Lubbock.
fond memories of Lubbock.
That's in high
That's like
school.
That's below 21.
I had a
Yes.
fond memory at West Lafayette, Indiana, the night that Kyle Orton died.
3rd down and 3. Looking to hang on to the ball in possession. Orton dials up his own number again. Orton put it on the ground. It's still live. Wisconsin ball starts. What a turnaround. A cataclysmic turn of events.
But West Lafayette, Indiana is a dump.
Okay, fair.
Fond
Lubbock
memories
is
of
a
Lubbock.
dump, but I hold a very special place in my
Fond
heart for
memories.
Lubbock.
You don't love it because it's a dump.
Okay, that's fair. So
Good thing
Dave
I'm
and I
being
both
nice
on
today.
Texas Tech. You guys on West Virginia, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to game number 4 of the weekend. This is the Pac-12.
I
After
don't know
Dark
what
game.
you're doing by that.
What?
Oh, you're counting down.
Counting down.
Yeah.
It's not in chronological order. I actually like this. It's getting to the biggest game.
Yeah.
So that's a new twist.
No,
that
it's
you
we've
had.
been doing that
we've
every
been doing
week.
that. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Like the 2
You've been
games-
saying number 4 every week? No.
No, I said the top 2 games
Oh.
of the week. No, maybe I haven't done that, but it's
Okay.
we're doing 5
Let's
total
not get
games.
bogged down in the
Yeah, we're
details.
doing 5 total games, and this
Semantics.
is
Yeah.
the 4th most important game of the week. How about
Got
that?
it. Okay.
That fair?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Oregon versus Cal. So Oregon last week, obviously, with that huge meltdown, the epic collapse versus Stanford. This is the first time Cal has been ranked since 2015, like week 9. And here's your over stat of the day. The over has hit 3 of the last 4 Oregon versus Cal games. So I didn't even realize Cal was good enough to be ranked at this point, to be honest with you.
3-0. They beat BYU, right?
Beat BYU at BYU. I bet on BYU that game.
Speaking of last time Cal was ranked, who was that little running back they had?
Well, they had Marshawn Lynch.
No, that's not who you.
Oh, you're talking about. Fuck.
He was very good.
Yes.
And he was in the pros.
Damn it.
He ma-
What? No.
No.
He's a
He's like-
speedster.
He was very
a real speedster.
What was he a high draft?
Fuck.
Yes.
Yeah, I know I'm blanking too.
I'm taking out my phone.
I think he actually was on the
This is
Bills?
gonna drive me. No, that's Marshawn.
Yes.
I'm taking out my phone. Don't worry. I'm gonna.
Was he on-
How long ago was this?
There's a part of me that thinks he was on the Pats for a minute.
Either way, keep going. I'll figure it out.
Anyways,
you guys keep going.
So Oregon, huge loss. They're dead. Occasionally, you can have losses, and then you can have losses that rip your lungs out, rip your arteries out. You can't breathe. That's what happened in Oregon. You can't come back from that. Cal at home is waiting. There's a big game, like you said, first time they're ranked. The more I talk about this, the more I may put my entire fortune on Cal. I really like Cal at home for the win.
Are you still on the side that Oregon did the right thing at the end of that game with Stanford?
Listen. I think-
Javid Best.
Oh, yeah.
Is that who you're talking
He
about?
went to the Detroit Lions.
Justin Forsett as well.
It
I
may
think you're
have
talking
been
about
Best.
Javid Best.
Javid
Yeah.
Best for sure.
Yeah, I think you're talking about Javid Best.
When did he get drafted?
He got drafted by the Lions in
No,
2000.
Oh,
2000.
I actually thought it was someone else. Or am I thinking about the wide receiver now?
Are you thinking about Keenan Allen? Are you thinking about Deshaun Jackson?
Nope. They both went to Cal.
Yeah.
Cal.
Yeah, Cal's got some sneaky.
Sneak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jared Goff, Aaron Rodgers.
Well, they went through a phase where they were scoring 100 points a game. That's
Yeah.
because of these
Yeah,
offenses.
yeah.
No, I don't know. I have to look at.
I love Javid Best.
yeah, he was shifty.
Yeah.
I think the coach is getting a bad rap. Whether you call timeout, just be like, don't stretch for the first down. I've heard all sorts of different theories on what he should have done, but they all are kind of outside the box. The percentage, I think 95% of college coaches, maybe 99, hand the ball off up the middle. Now, you shouldn't stretch, maybe not a freshman, but the coach, to me, did not lose that game. It's the kid who freaking fumbled. Everyone's saying, the bottom line, and I've challenged anybody, and nobody's come forward, I have never seen a football game in college or pro where someone took a knee but could not run out the clock, meaning you still have to punt. The only time you ever go into the victory formation, you are literally handing the ball to the ref and walking off the field. So for people to say that's what he should have done, nobody does that. He did what I think most people do. You just hand it off up the middle.
Yeah.
Now the guy just fought and fumbled. Like you shouldn't fight for yardage, but I don't know.
It would have been better for him to run backwards.
Right. You got to give it to your fullback. You got to do that.
Right. So, I mean,
Put it in his belly, have him fall
it
forward.
was a horrible, egregious fumble, but I don't really put it on the coach. I put it on the kid who fumbled.
And that game really, the game ended when the overturned touchdown then became a fumble, bringing it all the way back.
But the original take on this was that the coach single-handedly lost that game. I don't buy that at all.
Yeah. I'm actually going to put this, because I think Oregon's going to have a little letdown, but I also think Oregon is the more talented team. We always say when you tease, you only tease yourself. The only person you're teasing yourself. I'm actually going to tease this game, and I'm going to give you the other half of my teaser later on in the program.
A college tease.
Yes.
A
tease of a
tease.
tease.
The
Plus
tease.
9.5. Plus 9.5.
Oh, yeah.
Cal up to plus 9.5 at home. I like it. I like it, Davey. I think my other side of the tease, it is a classic tease in the fact that you look at it and you say there is 0% chance I'm going to lose this bet. And I'll lose it.
It's quite a tease.
The tease.
Tommy?
I'm taking
Tease
Oregon.
in college.
More
That's almost
talented
as
team.
dumb as
It's
like
crazy.
a college basketball tease when you get like 2 points.
I don't want to say it was Rico because he'll probably get mad at me, but I think it might have been Rico who was teasing over-unders in college basketball.
We're going to be nice
For
to
4
Rico on
points.
this show, by the
She
way.
hugged Rico.
I
Yeah,
did
that's
hug
true.
Rico. I
He's
felt
banned from
badly.
it, though.
I felt badly that you guys were so mean to him about hugging me.
It's fine. I'm
Over
getting
an A&M
wild.
bet.
I'm getting wild. I'm going to tease. This is half of my
Don't
tease.
like
I'll tell you the
college
other
tease.
part.
I'm staying on Oregon. Justin Herbert train. This is show me what you got game. Coming off a tough loss. Give me the Ducks.
Yeah, I mean, that was lost in that whole dumpster fire was how good he was,
Yeah, he
Justin
was
Herbert.
great.
So I'm
Yeah.
also
Next
going to
round's
go
quarterback.
with Oregon because I think they're just a better team, but it'll be probably close. I think the spread right now is 2.5, right?
Well,
for Oregon?
9.5.
9.5?
If
Well,
it's
with
tease.
his tease.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
So we'll get to the
Pat
tease.
myself
All
on
right,
the
so
back for
recap.
this winning teaser already.
Well,
Me-
if it's 2.5, you got 8.5.
Yeah, 8.5. That's fine.
So
It's going to be great.
I can't wait for the second part of that tease.
I will say, I got to be honest. There may be no better feeling in the world when you need the points.
Yeah.
Like when you tease and you would have lost, but
And
you have
or-
the points.
I will be rooting
That's
because
great.
the
That's-
first part of my tease is earlier in the day. I will be rooting for Oregon to win this game by 7 points.
Right. Yes.
It will be fantastic.
There is no better feeling
Yes.
than that.
And there's no worse feeling than doing a tease and not needing a single point.
Yes.
And it was a blowout, and you're like, if I had just parlayed them, I would have won.
Or the other part of your tease is not done. So
Yeah.
it's like if I just bet them straight, I would have won.
Also buying like a half a point.
I-
and that
no,
ended up
don't do that.
mattering.
I do buy. I bought
if
half
that
the other
matters.
day, and it bought me a push in some games, 6.5 to 7. I forget what it was. That makes me feel like a genius.
Everything makes you feel like a genius.
Wow,
That's true.
a genius.
I mean,
That's true.
everything. Okay, so recap. You guys are taking Cal? Both?
Cal
I
plus
have
8.5.
Oregon.
Oregon? All right.
I'm Cal.
Half of my tease.
All right. Is it Shane Vereen? Frankie came in my ear. Was it Shane
It's
Vereen?
Shane Vereen.
Oh,
Yeah.
Shane Vereen.
Shane Vereen.
Shane Vereen.
Patriots. I knew it. Shane
Yeah,
Vereen.
he told me earlier
was
whenever
thinking
you
the
were on
other
your
one
rant, I
was
was
J.J.
gonna-
Arrington.
Wait, Shane Vereen.
Shane Vereen. That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Got it.
There you go. Thank you so much, Frankie. Okay, the third game. Can I say the third game now?
Yeah.
Third most
Well,
important.
either
You
way,
gotta
it's
Yeah.
the third.
clarify.
Well,
Okay.
no.
I'd
'cause
say
it's
it in
the
a
third-
harsher
third-
fashion, but I'm being nice.
No, it's the third game
Third
either
game.
way. It's the
Got it.
middle of the 5.
Yeah.
Well, there's 5 games
Yeah.
there.
So the third game.
Yeah, it
however
doesn't matter
you
how you say it. Third most important, third
It's
least.
the middle game.
It's the third game.
Okay.
Middle game.
All right. It's the third game that we're going to talk about here. BYU versus Washington. Washington is favored by 17.5 right now. I have no idea why the spread is that high.
Me neither.
I mean, Dan, what are your thoughts on that? I know you're a big BYU guy.
BYU killed Wisconsin.
BYU is the number 2 team in the country. Not to tip off my polls that we'll be revealing later. This game scares me so much because what my brain does, and I think a lot of people, I'm speaking to a lot of people here. Washington played a late game last week, 17-point favorites. They had 0 chance of covering the entire game. I will now take BYU solely because of that game being like will have 0% chance of covering 17 points, and I'll probably lose.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
When they do back-to-back, like exact same spot, exact same line, that's not fair to us.
There is nobody with a brain that can explain how they think Washington is the play here. I'm taking BYU.
Right, which means that Washington is the play.
Yep.
That's why I want to take Washington.
Yeah.
Just
You
because
take
everyone
Washington?
else is
You're smart.
talking.
Yeah,
Stu
you're
Fine's
smart.
the Stu Finer.
No,
That will make you uncomfortable.
There's also something nice about taking 17.5 point favorite or underdog because you're at least going to be covering for at least like 5 minutes, right?
You'd
nice.
think.
It's like taking the under in a game. You're winning for most of it.
No, I don't.
No, because you are always, when you do a total, you're doing the math. Like
Yeah.
if you you're just on the Richter scale there.
Right.
Washington is 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 games.
Yeah, they haven't looked good this year.
No. I mean,
No.
Jake Browning apparently looked, people were using the word brilliant last week for Jake Browning against Arizona State, which, he was back on track.
Who's
What
that?
did I tell you?
Media.
What did I tell you? I don't trust Jake Browning.
You don't, but he looked better last week. He did look better.
I think we need to at least acknowledge Herm Edwards. I don't know if you guys saw they had the barbell curl for interceptions.
Oh, yeah.
It's a
Herm
tease
Edwards
for
has
later
come
in the
out.
show.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
We're talking about
We're
that
talking
later.
about that later in the show.
Okay, tune in later for the show.
That's another tease.
Second straight tease.
Okay, so I'm going to take BYU just because I think the spread is too far. So Washington, Tommy, you're the only one in Washington?
Yep.
Yep.
Which
All
makes
right.
me feel good.
It
Okay.
should.
It should. That's definitely not going to hit. Washington's not near as good as they should be. But we're going to get to the top 2 games in just a little bit. Now we're going to go out to the University of Delaware, which was recently named the biggest party school in the country. It doesn't make sense to me
feel
either.
like, well, no, that makes a lot of sense. We've partied there a lot. That was a blackout tour home. In fact, I don't know if we could put this in, but the Purple Starfish video, fucking foam. I had our whole crew, nobody was going in the foam to make the video. I went in myself, spent 2 hours in the foam. It's the greatest masterpiece video this company's ever made. You should study your history. Fucking foam, Delaware, electric video.
You would
And
say-
it was me. I was in the foam myself.
Okay.
Credit to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's put that
Had rashes
in there.
for days
Oh, that is so gross. That is
for the good of the company.
all for the good of the company. You got rashes. Well, hopefully Roan didn't get any rashes when he was at Delaware. Here's concussion protocol.
In 2018, the Princeton Review named the University of Delaware as the #1 party school in the nation. Apparently, in the football championship subdivision, the ball playing is second class, but the partying is anything but. Unless you ask local police, the university's force cited a 44% decrease in drinking-related violations, and Dean Adam Cantley agreed. According to his gumshoe research team, binge drinking is at the lowest it's been at the University of Delaware in a decade. So who was telling the truth? The students or the dean? The local police force or the Princeton Review? To find out, I set up a fake reality show at a bar adjacent to the University of Delaware's campus. If this college campus had kids who partied, I was going to find them.
So how we are going to do this is we're going to go down the line and we're just going to introduce yourself, say a little bit about yourself, what you do on campus.
Why would you look at your phone like that during like a potential interview?
Yeah, you could show the text. They could show the text. Let's see if this is really worth disrupting the presentation. These kids suck. You're the fucking boy. Huh. Describe both of them in a word.
A douchebag.
Delaware police. Tell us about them.
You'd be hard pressed to find a kid on campus who hasn't gotten like some kind of conflict with the police.
Even as we conducted our casting call, multiple officers came and made their presence known, but they all stuck to the code of silence.
They won't talk. Your frat brother that you butted heads with was actually named Brad?
Yeah.
Let's do a little role play. You'll be Brad.
Wait a second. I'm gonna just do a little improv technique here. I'm gonna tag you out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play Brett. Remember the time that you took my comb? You didn't even wash it, and I just found it on your nightstand full of lice and kind of what looked like crabs. I don't know why you've been combing your pubic hair. You fuck my girl?
And scene. Really nice stuff, guys. Really good stuff, guys. What are you gonna do when you're done?
So hopefully I'll be an actor.
Give us a little something.
Want to hear something really fucking crazy?
Yeah, you can go ahead anytime.
It was just stupid.
Oh, you're doing
Just the other day.
I feel like, I'm not even kidding, like, douche might be a positive word.
This is just an unbelievable experience that we're having right now.
As I prepared to meet with our subjects the next night, I finally found a cop who was willing to go on the record.
Is it crazy out here or what? Is it worthy of a reality show? #1 party school though, right? Was it crazy? We heard though that arrest went down last year. That's why we're like, is it the crazy party school or is arrest going down? All right, man. Have a good one, bro. Enjoy your night, man. Thanks for keeping us safe.
Was the Princeton Review wrong? I had to investigate more. My first stop was the self-proclaimed douchebag, but I was dismayed to see that even when he DJ'd, he was faking the funk.
There it is.
Sick.
I was in a chamber choir in high school. I sang and shit, yeah, all that.
So you're a nerd.
I wouldn't say nerd. I can hit a nasty G note, bro.
Yo, can you sing something for me?
Much to do and only so many hours in the day. Yeah. And you know that when the truth is told that you can get what you want or you can just get old.
Where were these wild party stories I was expecting to hear? Luckily, at our second location, the cameras were bringing out some juicy gossip.
And then there was that rumor, the gangbang rumor.
Gangbang?
Mm-hmm.
You never told me how the gangbang.
Okay, so there's
Wait,
like...
is this a thing?
Yes. Yes,
When?
it's literally a thing. No.
Where is this?
I can't say where.
Hang on, let's take a break.
Cancers are-
This gangbang talk is really good. Do you know what you're gonna do the shot to?
Is gangbang
like-
rated R?
It depends on the gangbang.
Gangbang!
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Yep, it's a little tangy.
A little tangy? As I was starting to doubt whether they even binge drank at all, I was met with this beacon of hope.
I drink a lot. I'm good at drinking. #1 party school. Here I am.
Oh shit!
And I think that was a twist top.
He said, fucking gross ass bitch.
That was excellent.
Oh, excellent.
But was one shining beacon of hope enough? Just because the University of Delaware had one gnarly girl who could house beer bongs, was it enough to call them the top party school?
When we asked the administration for a comment, the dean told me to go fuck myself. But their point was abundantly clear. On the campus, we saw no raging parties. There were no arrests to speak of. There was no binge drinking to be seen at all. Based on 3 random students that we selected to follow on an arbitrary Tuesday and Wednesday in September, the University of Delaware didn't party at all. And that ridiculously small sample size was enough for me to draw a huge conclusion. Is it enough for you?
All right, thanks so much, Tyrone. So you're saying you think that Delaware could be the #1 party school in the country?
It's been voted #1 party school multiple times. From my experiences traveling the country in Blackout Tour and Barstool, you have Delaware, you have UMass, I think
Wisconsin.
I've never.
Wisconsin was voted #1 while I was in college.
I feel like
You do the
5 of
math.
those lists
You
come
do
out
the
every
math how
single
that
year,
goes.
and they all have a different topic.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, how
it
do
used to be the
you
Playboy. The
gauge
Playboy
that?
top party school. That was like the coach or the AP poll.
Wisconsin and
Iowa's won
UMass.
before. Yeah.
Iowa's big.
I think Syracuse has won
No,
before.
Syracuse
Arizona
definitely
State's
not.
usually
Just
on
like
those
one.
lists, right?
Arizona State's like fake party
Yeah, that's
school
not-
though.
yeah.
It's
They
just
just
like
have really hot girls
really
there.
hot girls and pool party bikinis, but it's not like UMass getting hit with riot cops in the woods.
95% of the world can't go party at ASU.
Right.
I went to Arizona. We went to Arizona State like 5 years ago when we were doing maybe the worst content stuff we've ever had to do, and I was
World's dumbest game day show. We had to dress up as clowns. Basically.
almost killed a girl going down that water
Yikes.
slide. Remember?
Yeah, Christina.
Dressed as a clown?
We went down a water slide together, and all my body weight fell on her. It was a bad scene.
You almost killed a girl
It
on
was
a
a
water
bad
slide. Just
scene.
like, I know.
Like,
I'm
she
just
worked with
picturing
us.
it
She
in my
worked with
I
us.
know, but
Legitimate.
It was like me, Dave, and her going down
Fat
the water
Dave,
slide
too.
at the end, and I Crushed her.
She went first, and we snapped her neck with like 600 pounds of
all
men.
my weight. All my
Between
weight.
that visual and Dave getting rashes, like, I mean, I'm set on visuals.
We've been through a lot.
There's
We've
been a lot of days, a lot of bad days.
We did if you want cute, we did the undie run there too.
We did the undie run. We also
another visual.
No, that was at Florida State, and then at Ohio State.
No, it wasn't. It was at Arizona State.
No, Florida State. Oh yeah, that's right. That was at Arizona State, and then at Ohio State, we did a live show against Illinois in the rain while a bunch of guys just threw full beer cans at the back of our heads.
It literally couldn't be more miserable with this weather.
This is TCU, West Virginia. We're getting heckled now. Hold on. Hey,
We also jumped in Mirror Lake. We've done a lot of things.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough for me.
1, 2, 3.
A lot of fun visuals for everybody out there.
Yeah.
All right, so
Kids
let's
back at home.
let's get to the top 2 games of the week. These are presented by Bud Light. That's game day's favorite light lager. So the first one we're going to look at is Stanford Notre Dame, a top 10 matchup. It's at 7:30. Of course, Stanford last year upset Notre Dame, and this year they've got a new quarterback, Ian Book. He looks like a completely. I know you're not a big Notre Dame guy, Dave.
In the sense, if I don't like them, I respect them. I think they're a power this year.
Sure.
I think they're a top 5 program. I think if you play them at night at home in the opening game of the season and keep it within a touchdown, then that shows that you're for real and probably be in playoffs and potentially a rematch.
Right,
Listen, Dave's right though. You don't have to be a big Notre Dame person. Like I don't like Notre Dame, but I respect them. College
Fair.
football is more fun when Notre Dame's good.
Yes, it is. But this kid at quarterback now, the fact that they went to him and they scored like 56 points last week, like he looks like he could actually make Notre Dame good.
Wake.
Wake, but still, I mean, he looked a lot better than
Wake gave
Brandon
up 50
Wimbush.
to BC, and BC stinks.
Okay,
Ask
so
Rico
you're not
Bosco.
buying in.
Ask Rico Bosco about
Where are those BC touchdowns, Rico Bosco?
You're not buying in on Ian Book yet.
I think Notre Dame's good. When you see my poll, I think this 8's a little bit too low. So, I mean, I think Notre Dame's good in this game, but I think Stanford's good in these 2 teams. Stanford's just going to muck it up. They're going to play tough.
Notre Dame is favored 5.5.
Yeah, I think Notre Dame, I think this will be a classic Notre Dame game that everyone kind of tunes in at the end. It's very close. It comes down to the last drive, so I'll take the points. Who wins it? I have no idea, but I like the points. Stanford. Very close game, very important game, very entertaining game.
All right, this is my other half of the teaser. Taking Stanford plus 11.5.
Oh, I don't like that.
I love it. There's no way that
happy.
loses,
You just got
Dave.
so
There's no way that loses. I'm looking at everyone right now. If you have Stanford plus 11.5 and Cal plus 8.5, there is 0% chance you will lose that bet. And there's 0% chance this clip will come back to bite me.
I know this. If Stanford doesn't cover the number 5.5, I would say there's a higher chance they're outside of like double digits.
We'll see.
When you're doing a teaser, do you prefer to make an underdog a bigger underdog or make a favorite less of a favorite?
Yeah, I like to get more points. I usually like to do with teases the theory is either between 2, so 1.5, 2, 2.5 up, or 6, 6.5, 7 down.
That's a lot of math.
Because there's a lot of times too with the teaser when you really fuck yourself.
Right.
It's like if it's 3, you start losing points in that 1 to 0 to 1
Yeah, I don't
range.
never tease across 0, but I do. So Cal, I did the classic teaser where it's 2.5 to 8.5 because you're going
making the underdog the bigger underdog.
Football numbers 3, 4, 7, and then Stanford is a little bit more. Dave's probably right that I probably won't need the points in that, but I feel a lot more comfortable. It's never going to lose.
Well, here's something that'll, I think, make you feel more comfortable.
Fun
and
fact.
if it doesn't, another fun fact: the underdog in this matchup is 6-0 against the spread in the last 6
Yikes!
games.
There you go. That's a fun fact. That's why I
there
like
you go.
Stanford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now think about all the points I have.
I'm telling you right now.
Days right now.
I'm telling you right now.
I got points for days.
If Stanford doesn't cover the normal number, they're not covering your
This
team's
is now
number.
going to be a very interesting
Dave Portnoy
Saturday
effect.
night for me.
And there's 0 chance that if Dave is wrong, that clip will.
Oh well,
resurface.
listen. Dave knows. Listen.
Cheap shot alert.
I don't care.
We're all being nice today, Kayce.
Listen, Kayce,
If I wasn't being nice, I would respond with devastating precision. But I'm being nice.
Kayce, you got to understand something about degenerate gamblers. The least of my worries on Saturday night, if this teaser doesn't work out, will be Dave giving me shit.
It's true.
It will be the fact that I lost the tease and lost a lot of money.
Very not like me either,
Yeah,
Casey.
it's true.
Not
It's
like
nice.
you to bring up what people say.
in real time, for example,
Dave,
if you make a fool out of
we
yourself,
go.
I would be, sometimes I'll point out, hey,
These
you
two
just
just love each
contradicted
other.
yourself in the span of 20 seconds. I'm not doing that this week.
But wouldn't you agree, Dave, with me that?
Yeah. You think I
if
give a
get-
fuck about
yeah,
what's going on?
Yeah, do you
I
think
just
I
lost
care
all
that-
my money.
When people come at me on Twitter and like your pick lost, I don't care about you telling me my pick lost. I care about the fact that my balance just went way down.
I mean, I'm on like suicide watch. Like,
Right.
I think Joe Blow on Twitter getting mad at me, dude.
Right,
You
you
bet
actually make it more
$20.
fun.
I just lost $11,000.
Yeah.
You think I care about your $25 bet?
I bet like 22, 23.
Yeah, you're up in your.
I mean, but in your world, that's what?
I will
Yeah, I'll
say
do it.
that.
Sure.
I will say
I'll ride
that.
the tease with
I
you.
will always, as long as somebody is gambling, I don't care if you have as much money in your bank account, as long as you're gambling to the point that you feel the same pain
Yeah,
I do,
you
I'll
hurt.
respect it.
Though if you're at the point where you got to start doing random Twitter ads and
Right.
stuff.
Your like friend who's an
I see those
absolute
Sunday
fraud,
Instagrams.
You
Clay
gotta do it.
Travis,
You gotta
who
survive.
claims
You gotta survive.
Like the example would be Clay Travis, who's a fraud, Kayce's fake friend. Not on your side, but he like, you know, whatever. But he claims he's worth hundreds of millions of dollars and he bets $25 a game. That I don't like. Go away.
I'm actually surprised it took you that long to bring up that gambling show in this show.
Well, we're talking about fake gamblers.
No, I know.
And there's a lot of them out there.
I know.
You have to bet.
Some
you have
I
to
like,
bet
some I
whatever
don't.
you can afford times 2.
Bill Simmons is a fake gambler.
That's the math behind
Maybe I'll
it.
start doing it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's
Whatever
not
you
even
can
gambling.
afford,
If you don't
that's it.
care if you win or lose, you're not gambling.
No.
That's a hobby. This is a job.
That's just a little, yeah.
So that's the rule is whatever you can afford
Well, no,
times
don't
2.
do that. I'm not trying to give people advice. I'm just saying that what Dave is saying is fair. That someone who's like, if you have $1 million and you're betting $20, I don't care about your loss.
Correct.
Fair. Okay.
You need to feel pain. You need to be like, oh
You're
shit.
suffering.
If you lose and you don't immediately check what games are still on the board, you're not gambling.
And if you're not on Saturday night, late at Saturday night, laying up in bed being like, I have to quit.
In the field
Yes.
position.
Right.
Crying.
Sweating.
I have
just
to quit.
Like you
I have
sit
to
up
quit.
and be
I
like,
have
what
to
am I
quit.
doing? I have a
Yeah,
good
I
life.
have
Why
to
am I
quit.
ruining it?
Right. Like this is, I'm throwing it all away. I have to quit.
It's just like you can't
That's
get
a
away from
weekly
the pain.
conversation with
Yeah.
myself.
It's
Right.
masochism in some form.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to
little
take.
notebooks with all sorts of figures scribbled in them.
You do have a journal now.
I have 3 journals I'm working with right
Three
now.
journals. Okay. So to recap, I'm going to take Stanford. Dave,
I'm taking Stanford.
I got the points plus 11.5.
Tommy.
Casey, you have your own stat. I was
Yes.
doing hours of research for this game, like I do for all these games. I came across this, not sure if it's true. David Shaw never killed a kid. Brian Kelly
Ooh, there we go.
does have one
Good
child
stat.
murder
Good
on
stat.
his record.
Good stat. It's a good stat.
Morally, I have to take Stanford.
There you go.
Yeah, well, Dave, you said earlier this week that you care more about women than football, so Tommy cares
That's
more
true.
about kids than football.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah, all
More
right.
about life.
Okay. All right, we'll go to the number. Speaking of caring about women more than football, let's go to
Or
Penn.
kids. This
We're
is-
going-
this
I
is
mean,
a
this is a tough one. I ran into that transition and didn't even realize I was going to do it.
Yeah.
So the number one game of the week, again presented by Bud Light Game Day's favorite light lager, is Penn State versus Ohio State. Another top 10 matchup. Ohio State favored at 3.5 right now. Game Day will be there, and I'm honestly most excited about the signs that are going to come out of it, just because it is two schools that have really bad
It's
reputations
an
right
interesting
now.
question, Casey, because Penn State, I mean, that's kind of throwing stones at glass houses if you make fun of Ohio State. Basically, this is a game that is bad for humanity.
Did you see the tweet from Ohio State today?
No.
They have.
Oh, I did. People they should have
silence the noise.
Yeah. Yikes.
Big F. That's tough, man. You gotta have a little bit more self-awareness than silence the noise.
And it's like Ohio State's just, even someone tweeted at me, like this Ohio State clock, it's been like 2,400 days since Michigan beat Ohio, and I just wrote back, it's been like 38 minutes since Ohio has covered up a human rights tragedy. It's like there is both Ohio and Penn State, you just gotta keep your mouth shut. You're lucky you even have schools because of the crimes against humanity that both schools have committed.
Take a stand like Rico Bosco. He's gonna be watching UAB versus Charlotte.
This is the Rico Bosco boycott bowl.
He's boycotting this because they're both like just horrible schools.
If you care about kids, women, he wants no part. And there is an argument to be made that both these classless institutions. Now, I'm not sure which one's worse, but
I'd say Penn State.
Penn State's worse.
Very much worse.
Penn State.
However you pick this, it'll tell a lot about you. Do you care more about women or children? That's what's on all of our minds right now. If one of us picks Ohio State, we care more about children than women.
I'm trying to pretend that I'm just doing it because they're both bad. You don't like to pick between two evils. But I'm taking Penn State here at home.
So we're going to bring in Big Ev for this. So, lost in all of this, Big Ev is.
A fucking beat.
Yeah, you're getting dragged, Big Ev.
This is a big game, obviously, outside of all the felony stuff we're talking about.
So college football playing game potentially.
Oh, it absolutely is.
100%.
For good of college football, I hope both of these teams don't make it because we don't want these stories about domestic abuse and
that's
showers.
Not because Michigan
scandal.
is also in the Big Ten East. He's saying for the good of college football.
For humanity.
Yeah.
I don't even recognize Ohio State this year. Until Urban's gone, I don't recognize them as a football team.
That's going to suck when you lose to them.
Well, it would be like air.
Win the moral game.
Shea Magic.
Got it.
This is going to be one of those games, not X's and O's, Jimmy's and Joe's, as they say. So Urban out the window. The players are better. This is what I call in the industry a revenge game. This is what's going to happen. We lost them 2 years ago. I was actually there. I wasn't at the game, but I was at a Penn State frat house when it happened. They didn't even care about football at that time. That game was like what brought them back on the map.
The blocked field goal.
Yeah, that was actually
That
another
kept
fun
Penn
fact.
State
I've got
out
fun
of-
facts as well. I was actually taking a shit while that happened.
That is a fun
So
fact.
I
Big Ev.
I literally come back from the shitter, we're losing.
Yeah,
So
I was wondering where you were there.
I gotta be honest though, I actually, and I don't want to like but how do you go to the bathroom at that point?
It was a field goal.
Yeah,
It was just a. I mean, they were up. It was
I really
late.
had to go.
I
It was
mean,
one of those
Big
I
Ev
just had to.
No,
Was it
no.
like
What
a
I'm about to say,
liquidy or
Big
more
Ev,
solid?
don't take offense to it. When Big Ev has to shit, Big Ev shit. Okay.
They were grown man shit. That was a grown man shit. But I have two guarantees for this game. One, I will not be taking any shits during this game.
Good.
Well,
maybe take some.
No, I will not. I will not.
Clog yourself up beforehand.
I will not take a shit.
Have you gone to any? Is there Ohio State bars in Manhattan?
Yeah, there is.
Are you?
Do you
Where
go
are you
to
going
it?
to watch the game?
I have because I'm usually working doing the social
True,
during
good point.
on
Yeah.
Saturday.
No
so.
days
Good
off.
answer. That was a
No
trick
days
question.
off.
I tried to bait you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are you
I'm
going
at
to be
the
watching
office.
at the office?
Yes, I
It'd
will.
be a real shame if someone put some laxative in your drink.
Please don't do that. That would be terrible. But my second guarantee, call me Broadway Ev. I'm guaranteeing victory. I am guaranteeing victory from Ohio State. in this
Wait.
game. Guaranteeing
Okay,
victory.
so hold on.
I'm guaranteeing they cover. as
Okay,
well.
so if Big Ev,
I
since
know
he's
we're
putting in
big.
the guarantee that they're going to win, I think if Ohio State loses this game, he has to do the rest of the season in a Penn State jersey.
No way, but then there's got to be some give and take.
Jerry
on that, though.
Sandusky
You're guaranteed.
shirt, maybe.
You've already guaranteed.
I am guaranteed.
Sandusky
Yes,
straw.
you should
Yeah,
have
Joe Pod didn't know shirt.
I'm fine with a
week.
one.
Okay,
yeah, a
one
week.
next week. Next
Joe
week
Pod
you have to
didn't-
wear a Penn State jersey.
And maybe
for
the
show.
week after, like Urban New.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Alright, fine,
guaranteeing
fuck, I don't
it.
give a
You've
fuck.
already
Yeah,
guaranteed
no,
it. You
sure,
should have no
sure.
problem.
Sure.
So,
Yeah,
what about the
This is a
shirt?
guarantee.
So then this is just if they win, though.
This is just
If Penn
win.
State wins.
Like
Penn
win the
State
money
wins.
line.
Cover has nothing to do with
Yeah,
spread.
cover has nothing to do with it. It's just
Penn
Penn
State
State, Ohio
wins
State.
next week. You're Penn State the week after. Oh no, better. Michigan week. You got to wear Urban New.
Ooh, okay,
What about
like
a
that.
shirt front Joe Pod didn't know back?
No,
but
I don't
Urban
want to
did.
do those. I don't want to do those. That's a little.
It's too far.
Sometimes your brain runs a little too fast. It's a little ahead of the
You get a
track.
little too
I mean,
comfortable
it's a
with the
great
Brian
brain.
Kelly stuff. Now you're going to this. Let's keep it with this. Penn State
it's a
next
good
week.
brain.
Michigan
Urban
week,
News, yeah.
Urban New.
When we're at Michigan,
Yeah.
wear the Urban New shirt.
Yeah.
I'm good for that.
Does
Okay,
Dave
let's
have to
go.
wear
It's a
some?
guarantee. You shouldn't be
No,
worried.
let's go. Guarantee.
No,
Okay.
you guarantee.
Guaranteeing an Ohio
Okay.
State win this week.
Broadway F.
Even without Bosa, no question. We're winning the game.
All right.
Okay.
I'm
All right.
really hoping now. I like Penn State, so I don't like the way they treat kids there, and I don't like the way they treat women at Ohio State. But for the game, I want to make that clear. I like Penn State.
Okay. I hate this pick, but that's why I like it. The over 72.5. That's insane
So
amount of
high.
points. Insane.
that
High
down.
scoring game last year, 39-38.
There's
That-
going to be
that's a
college
heartbreaker.
football plays.
You do that math though, and that's when
That's close.
I
No,
know,
I know, it
it's
is
one
close. It is
score.
close. I agree.
30
It is
and
close.
35.
But see, the difference is this guy right here.
Well,
We
that's true.
cannot
You
not
won.
score points
Dwayne
with Dwayne
Haskins.
Haskins.
Take the over.
We
No,
cannot
by my
not score
math, you
points.
win.
38,
By
35.
my,
We're
gonna
by
put
my
up
math,
points.
you win.
But
39,
if you're taking
35,
the under,
you win.
I'm taking the over.
Yeah,
You'd win. 38 35.
I would lose.
No, it's
You'd win.
You just said
No.
it's 72. 38
Yeah.
35.
Oh,
yeah,
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 you
yeah,
did
yeah,
the
yeah,
math on
Yeah,
that.
it's like 77.
Math is
I
hard.
did the math
Math
right.
is hard.
Did the math right there. 70.
And I
was
double
close,
checked
you
it
did.
too. I double checked
I
it.
did in my
You'd
head.
still win.
38.
Well, I want to see your work. 70. Okay, yeah.
All right.
About 30 and
I'm taking
30
the
and
over.
60.
It's gonna be 38, 35, and I'm gonna win.
1373.
Okay, Tommy.
I stand with Rico Bosco. I'm not picking this game. I don't know why. I don't know why I did the Black Power thing.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
That was a weird move.
Tommy's all over the place.
That was a weird move. Okay, I'm gonna take Ohio State in this because Big Ev. I don't like Ohio State. I don't like Urban Meyer, but I like Dwayne Haskins.
Smart.
Is that because
Best
you're
quarterback in
female?
the country.
Huh?
You don't like Urban because you're as a female?
I mean, is that a good answer for you right now?
Yes.
Or if I say no, am I gonna get argued with?
I'm being very nice.
I know, I just
That's
don't like
actually
Urban Meyer.
good. That's a
don't
good
argue on this
strategy.
Yeah.
Just be like, Dave, you decide which one.
Yeah, Dave,
you
should I
want
say
me to
yes or
answer.
no?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, I don't like Urban
So
Meyer
there's
because I'm
another
a woman.
female speaking out against Urban Meyer
There you
and
go.
the domestic
There
abuse
you go.
that has gone
Yeah.
unchecked in
Said
Columbus,
Jimmy's and
Ohio.
Joe's, not the X's and O's.
Yeah.
Players
Well,
on the field.
Yeah, let's hope they don't.
A woman on the record. Okay,
punch
so
anybody.
I'm taking Ohio State. Dave?
I'm taking Penn State, even
Dan?
though it's not.
Taking the over.
I still don't like the way they treat kids there.
Okay.
38-35.
Tommy, you're not picking.
Not picking.
And Big Ev is guaranteeing
Guarantee
a
victory.
Ohio State win. Okay, well, we'll see. Hopefully that doesn't backfire because that will live forever on social media.
Yeah, they're gonna win.
They will
Ohio
make
State's
a
gonna
shirt of you wearing the shirt. I
Yeah.
just wanna let you
Probably,
know.
but it's not gonna happen.
That's
so Ohio
actually
State's
good. We
gonna
should
win.
do that for sure.
All
We
right.
should absolutely make that shirt.
Well, we will bring Big Ev back in just a little bit, but we're going to get to everybody's favorite conference. This is Lights, Camera, Maction. We've been talking about the pirate ship, the flag, everything. So we have another week in a row. Buffalo defeated Rutgers 42-13. This is the first time they've gone 4-0 since 1981. First time they've ever beaten a Big Ten team.
Rutgers is not in the Big Ten
Well,
yet
technically
for
they are.
football. I do not acknowledge their Big Ten status for football.
So you don't think they should have gotten a pirate ship
But
flag?
you do for basketball?
No, not basketball.
They
either,
shouldn't
actually.
even. I don't
Maryland, I acknowledge for basketball, not football. They have to earn their stripes.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I
So
will
they
not
shouldn't fly
just
the
let
flag
anyone.
this week?
No, I'm going to let Buffalo.
No,
Buffalo
because
should
Rutgers
enjoy
was
it.
always
Yeah.
part of a Big Five somewhere.
But Rutgers would lose. Rutgers would finish fourth in the MAC.
Fourth?
Fifth.
I don't know. That may be generous to Rutgers.
I mean, Rutgers is one of the worst teams in
They're
the country.
horrible.
I do love this though. Buffalo is good. Buffalo's a legitimately good team.
And this is like, I mean, it's just a gift that keeps on giving because this coach is going nuts. This is now 3 weeks in a row that somebody's gotten to fly the flag in the MAC.
He also, I don't know if we have the clip.
Awesome.
Right before this,
Awesome.
he said, guess
Awesome.
what, everyone? We get to lift tomorrow. And they just went nuts. And it was awesome.
We get to live tomorrow!
It's like you just won the biggest game in program history, and you get to wake up at 5:30 and do squats.
I mean,
But you got a flag.
but they
though,
all
so
were
they get a
so
flag,
excited.
though.
That's you love it. That's when you know a coach has a team and is he's got the pulse of the team.
I don't want to pile on the State College in New Jersey here. Shout out Marco Battaglia, but Buffalo. I mean, they're a 7-point favorite basically. I mean, that is when a MAC team goes on the road to a power school and is a touchdown favorite, wins by 100.
Yeah.
Really just cancel the program at Rutgers. Holy
Hey,
cow!
Rutgers had that one night when
Greg Schiano.
when James Gandolfini did the intro.
It's you. I can't believe it. I'm a huge fan. This season is going to be great. Everybody's talking about it. And what a great bunch of guys. You got that whole Jersey thing going. It's unbelievable. My kids love you guys. It's a program the whole family can get behind. So, is it too much to ask? Can I get an autograph, Coach Schiano?
I can't take you anywhere.
Who'd they beat that night?
I can't remember, but that was a big night for Rutgers. This is a Thursday night game. They also beat Michigan.
Yeah, I know. That was Schiano. They were like a
They
top 10
did
team.
beat Michigan.
They were Ray Rice, another guy who goes around beating women. This is terrible.
This is a tough show. Can we go to something? I mean, you watched the MAC on Saturday. You
Yeah,
had a pretty
oh,
good
yeah.
rant. I was going to say, let's
Yeah,
go
I
to
did.
something more fun for a rant.
Yeah, I did.
You
Yeah.
By the way,
live
the worst
tweeting it.
beat ever happened in the MAC last week. The Bowling Green versus, I can't remember, Miami of Ohio maybe, and they had 2 touchdowns in the last 35 seconds.
Yikes.
In a game that was a blowout.
Yikes.
Yeah.
This is a rant that I've given a bunch. I was watching the entire Northern Illinois-Florida State game.
Oh, yeah.
I had Northern Illinois game. I had Northern Illinois money line. And I don't know what these college coaches are doing. Can we talk about this? This epidemic. So Northern Illinois, they're going for 2 like morons in the third quarter to make it a 1-score game, even though there's a full quarter. They get a penalty right here, you see it. All right, you're going to back up, you're on the 8-yard line, so you'll take the extra point now, right? Because why in the world would you go for 2 from the 9-yard line when the percentage on that is probably what? Like 5% or something? But no, these fucking idiots will still go for the fucking extra point like goddamn morons. And guess what happens? Oh, guess what happens here? They run this play, which stinks. Mark this down, fellas. Mark these fucking idiots. How do you get a head coaching job? Mark this down, because guess what? You should be down 9, which means a field goal and a touchdown. You win, you fucking dumb fuck. It's the third quarter, you dumb fuck. It is
that's wild.
Insanity. And of course, Northern Illinois was a 10-point underdog. They lost by 11. They screwed up 2 extra points in the final quarter. They should have covered. Instead, I lose. The other one, they just dunked the ball off the snapper's face.
Northern Illinois is making me mad, people. The spread is 10. Here's the extra point after the touchdown to cut it to 10. Watch the snap. Doink! That's 2, fellas. They went for 2 from the 9-yard line like morons, and then they doinked that. Those keeping score at home, you mathematicians, they're down 11. They should be down 9. The spread is 10. Angry Dave.
Literally snapped right off the guy's face. The whole thing's infuriating. I don't know what college coaches are doing. Like, are you just dummies? Are you just the stupidest people in the world? Like, what are you doing?
They panic.
You said they should be excommunicated if they do that.
I just don't know if you're like the AD or if you have a brain and you're sitting there watching this being like, who, did someone be like, this is not smart? There's a whole quarter. There's more points that are coming in this game.
Ohio State did it against TCU.
You don't know what you're going to need till like the last 5 minutes. It's insane. That's my rant.
That's a great rant.
Thank you, Tom.
That was a good rant.
All right, let's bring back Big Ev for the social game of the week. Big Ev,
What,
you got
she's
for
not
us?
wearing that sandwich board anymore, or is that later?
That's later.
That's later.
Okay, good.
I was confused as well.
If he wears the sandwich board over the shirt, though, after Ohio State loses, that's...
No sandwich
They're
board.
not going to lose.
Yeah,
No sandwich
okay.
boards.
Okay.
With this week's social game of the week, we got South Carolina going to Kentucky. Kentucky only 1-point favorites. Really like Kentucky. They fucked pretty much all of us, I think, besides Dave last week. This has got to be the week, I guess, now Kentucky's like, they're big time. They're ranked 17th. Benny Snell, really good running back. Cash Daniel, their linebacker, probably like the best name ever. Anyone who's named Cash.
We
is
have
like
something coming up with Cash Daniels next week with Caleb.
Yeah,
I saw that
Cash Daniels
picture on
had
Twitter.
a great quote after beating Mississippi State. He said, I hope they're crying. I hope they're slobbering.
While eating Chick-fil-A.
I hope all their girlfriends break up with them.
Yep, while eating Chick-fil-A, just chomping out. It's very
Anyone
good.
who's named Cash is just going to be electric. I feel like that's just a lot
Cash
from
money.
the day you're born.
Cash Money Rockets.
That guy in like Little League World Series or something was named Cash Money or something like that. That was awesome.
Don't know.
What an awesome name.
No, I don't know that kid.
There was a kid in like Little League World Series a couple
How
years. So
long
there was a
ago?
kid like
like 2
probably
years ago,
yeah, he
last
was literally named Cash Money. That was his legal name.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Great parenting.
Wow.
All right, what are the picks?
I'm all in at Kentucky. Knowing me, this is probably going to be a week they're going to shit the bed, but I'm in on Kentucky this week. Like them a lot.
All right.
It's a letdown game for Kentucky. They're coming off a win over the #1 team in the country, and I don't know if they're going to be able to bounce back against South Carolina. I'm taking the Gamecocks. Letdown game for the Wildcats.
Yeah, I like South Carolina as well.
Tough game. I'm taking with Kentucky again. I don't think they let down because this will be a huge game at Kentucky. It's probably the biggest program. I think the letdown for them is next week at A&M, actually. But I like Kentucky at home this week. I do think Carolina's pretty good. It'll be a close game, but I like the Wildcats.
I'm going to take Kentucky as well. I don't necessarily think that they are as good as they looked against Mississippi State. I think Mississippi State had a bad game, but I love Benny Snell and I love how petty everybody at Kentucky is on Twitter right now.
Also, shout out to Rough and Rowdy. We are heading to Lexington next Thursday. We will be, where's the sports bar?
It's Matt Jones, Kentucky Sports Radio Sports Bar.
So we'll be doing that live on Thursday.
Yeah.
Rough and Rowdy is Friday. I will be at Keeneland on Friday and Saturday betting on some horses. So looking forward to getting
a lot
down
of burgoo.
Oh, yeah. The burgoo is something.
I might bring a garbage bag and just bring it back.
When we went to the Breeders' Cup at Keeneland, it was maybe 30 degrees.
And I ate
the
so
only
much
thing you'd eat was that burgoo.
My blood was half burgoo by the end of the week.
really was.
And then
Can I ask what burgoo is?
It's burgoo is like this Kentucky stew. You can only get it in like a couple places in Kentucky. It's
delicious.
It's so good. It's a stew. It's got all kinds of meats in it.
Today we're making burgoo. If you've never heard of it, I hadn't either. Mostly, what is the most important thing in making burgoo is you have to have 3 meats: cottontail, squirrel, pheasant, quail, chucker, anything, wild turkey, but you have to have 3 different meats to make a true burgoo. Is this the best burgoo you ever ate in your life? If it ain't, it ought to be.
It's so good.
It's like a
so
beef stew
good.
of sorts.
Yeah, Keeneland burgoo.
All right.
Also,
Lots
I
of
feel,
burgoo.
like, I feel like this has got to be the game if it hasn't happened yet. Kentucky's got to be. I need some. We want Bama signs.
Yeah.
If it hasn't happened yet, this has got to be the week.
Love
You're
the
ranked.
SEC team
Have
to do that.
You have to
Yep.
do it.
The players might even do it at this point because they
I hope
just
so.
love
Cash
being
Daniels.
petty. All right, so let's go to the Pick'em podcast. This is Dave Big Cat and Rico Bosco, who did give me a hug this week.
You're gonna tell me? You're gonna tell me how to do the list? I created this list since 2013.
BYU, Washington. Washington's minus 17.5. Over/under's 46. I was very wrong about Washington last week.
I was
Arizona
very right
State.
about Washington.
I feel like this is the number one Samoan game in the country. BYU,
No,
Washington.
Wrong. BYU, Utah.
No, that's
I don't know,
Mormons. That's
Washington-
Mormons.
No, but
No,
they,
BYU
BYU's
always-
got a
BYU
ton of
always
Samoans.
has Samoans.
Utah's Mormons. You can't buy beer on a
BYU's
Sunday.
Mormons, you dummy. Utah's not.
Utah, the state of Utah is
Yeah, I
Mormons.
get that.
Thank
but
you.
Utah is not.
Utah is Samoan, big time.
I think BYU.
You
Washington.
think? I don't think Washington has as many Samoans as BYU or Utah.
What if
I think
Hawaii
BYU
played
and
Oregon?
Washington.
Well,
We're not talking about Hawaii.
Yeah, that's
They're getting, I know.
Oregon.
Mariota. They're getting a ton of Hawaiians. Are they the same thing, Samoans?
Wait, no.
Rico.
Don't
That's
be
gonna
so
That's
insensitive,
going to be
dude.
like a hit piece.
Yeah.
Samoans are the indigenous people of Samoa. Native Hawaiians are the indigenous people of Hawaii. And then there's something else about people in New Zealand. I don't know.
It makes no sense, though, because these Samoans aren't coming from Samoa.
Doesn't really give us an answer.
Somewhere, I
don't
think.
know.
Well, they're from somewhere, but where? Where's Samoa?
Samoa's an island in the Pacific Islands, I think.
Like near Hawaii.
Isn't that the Girl Scout cookie too? What is that?
Samoa.
Samoa's.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great Girl Scout cookie. Samoa is.
What does that have? Coconut?
I don't want to bring this conversation to an even more perplexing spot, but what's Polynesia?
Rails.
Samoan.
I don't think so. What is Polynesia?
Well, that's going to be near Chinese food.
No, I don't. Polynesian.
Like Polynesian Chinese food places.
Samoa's
no?
have coconut? Fuck that. Those suck. You like coconut? I don't like coconut.
Guys, I'm getting some stuff here, okay?
I feel like Chinese food places say
Here
Polynesian
it is.
food.
Here it is. Polynesia. You ready for this? Polynesia is a region in the Pacific Ocean, and Samoa is in Polynesia. So Samoans are Polynesians. This is
It has nothing to do
great
with Chinese
stuff.
food.
No.
So they come all the way from basically across the other side of the country to play football at BYU, Utah,
And dominate.
And
dominate.
why do they just go there?
I don't know.
Are they Mormon?
I don't know.
Are
Probably.
are
maybe.
Samoans Mormons?
I'm Wikipedia searching Mormon. I can't find anything.
Samoans Mormons? Why else? There's no other explanation to why all the Samoans, if they're not, I thought they like were from there. If they're literally traveling like the pilgrims across the United States, why would they all end up at Utah or BYU? They're Mormons. Now it makes sense.
Okay, Dave, I will actually, to go full circle here, I will concede that I think Utah, yeah, you're right. There's one Polynesian on Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, biggest game of the weekend. Very excited for this game. Ohio State versus Penn State. Love that game day is going here. Love that they are celebrating both these schools in all their glory. Penn State plus 3.5, over under 72. This is going to be fantastic. Happy Valley is going to be bumping. Nothing but good feelings there. What would you say, Rico?
I would say every year more than 3.6 million referrals are made to child protection agencies involving more than 6.6 million children. If you have something to report, please use this number, 800-422-4453. State Ohio is just as guilty if you obviously treat women with respect. You heard me on the radio yesterday, 800-799-7233. You should not watch this. You should not support this. And fuck them. That's basically what I got.
So you're not watching a second of this game?
That's not doing
Not
your job,
one
though, because
chance.
what if,
Yeah,
what
what
if they're
if- yeah.
involved games later that you need to, dig deep into what happened to use it to make a pick in the future?
Rico, are you telling me you haven't watched in a single Ohio State-Penn State game all year?
I've watched Ohio State when they're involved. I'm not watching the.
What does that mean?
When it's
This
when
is
it's a
insane.
standalone.
When Ohio
it's a
State-
standalone.
You've watched Ohio State
when it's
when
a
they're involved
standalone.
in
When
the
it's a
game?
my
when
God.
it's
What
just
does that
Ohio,
mean?
When it's just
When
Ohio
you've
State.
watched Ohio State when they're involved?
So you watch Ohio
when they're not
State
involved together. I
So when
misspoke.
Ohio State is
When it- I
playing in a
misspoke.
game, you watch.
I've
But
watched,
except
yeah.
when it's Penn State.
But when Ohio State,
Because I'm not going to penalize the other team.
Right.
When it's these two and it's
Right.
two guilty,
Oh, okay,
two
so
wrongs
the
don't
good
make a
kids
right.
on the other side,
Yeah.
great group of kids.
Right.
You don't want to penalize. You don't want to
Yeah,
take
I'm
away
not
your
hurting them.
eyeballs.
Just to clarify, when Ohio State is involved, he has watched them. When they're not involved in the game, he hasn't watched a game without Ohio State. You haven't watched Ohio State when they're not in a game.
Yeah. They're
Got
a quick thing, and I've also never
Got it.
watched State Penn.
Got it.
You don't watch State Penn
No way.
ever?
Nope.
That game against Illinois was wild.
Yeah, it was wild. You know what else
How'd
was
you know
wild?
that?
You know what else was wild? that in November 16, 2011, a new judge is assigned to the Sandusky case after it is discovered that Leslie Dutchcott, the judge who freed Sandusky on a $100,000 bail, volunteered at the Second Mile charity. Fucking cult. That's wild.
I don't trust Penn State's defense. If Illinois can put up 24 on you with ease.
Why don't you trust State Penn's defense? They've been covering things up and blocking people from getting into their circle for 20 years.
Okay. I walked into that one.
This guy's eating leather and doesn't seem to care, though.
Damn. She should fight.
See you later. Oh! He threw him across the ring. Body parts everywhere.
I'm coming to Lexington October 5th to break your face.
Let's go right into cheesy moments of the week. These are the great moments that we see via social media or whatever happens. And Dan, you brought this one up earlier, the Arizona State turnover bicep curl.
Mm-hmm.
You a fan?
No, because if you saw yesterday, so when I saw this, I was like, there's no way that Herm Edwards sanctioned this because Herm Edwards doesn't do this type of stuff. He's the CEO, leave it on the grass. They're doing bicep curls on the other side of the white line. That's not on the grass. You're not leaving it on the grass there, okay? So Herm Edwards came out and said he had no idea about it and it was a fun idea, but not on his watch. So it's done, gone.
Well, it's also a tough look when you lose.
Well, yeah, that's Herm Edwards is smarter than that. He knows. You leave it on the grass. You don't leave it on the sideline.
I actually don't hate it in terms of all these cheesy turnover things.
No, leave it on the grass.
Just because it's just different? Why don't you hate it?
I don't know. I say things grab you in different ways. I don't hate that. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, but if you have leave it on the grass, you don't need anything else.
But I feel like Herm Edwards probably has a lot. I feel like he is a gimmick.
But he's not one of the follow everyone else's
Yeah,
gimmicks.
he's his own gimmicks.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll say what I said last week. Has to be for something other than a turnover. We keep
Yeah, I
getting
don't hate
turnover
that.
everything. We need maybe a sack thing.
Yeah.
The sacks, potato sack.
Well, the problem is the sack. You could still be on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turnover.
That's true.
That's how you get off the field.
Yeah.
It'll probably
Maybe a made
Block.
field goal.
Yeah,
The
right.
kickers should do something like that.
Yeah, college kickers. Okay, the next moment that we have, there's a Miami lineman who has an epic mullet, and he's explaining where he got it from.
Would you call that a mullet? Just sporting right?
Oh yeah,
For sure?
Oh yeah. Just woke up in the morning and realized that I love my country, and a bald eagle flew down and actually cut this with his talons. So it was kind of awesome.
That's great.
You're just gonna cut the sides, just a little off the sides, right? You don't touch the back.
Yeah. I mean, you got to knock a little off the sides, a little bit off the top too to knock it down. Maybe put USA on the side, but just let the back flow, man.
So this guy's been going viral. Some people love it. Some people hate it.
I don't. I'm neutral on it, but if you're gonna do that, you can't talk about having USA in the side of your head. You have to have USA in the side of your head. End of story.
I don't like it.
Why?
Because it's Miami. This isn't what Miami is. Miami is boats and jewelry and getting paid to play football there. This is like a LSU, you know.
No, I don't think it's LSU.
The South. It's a Southern
It's
thing.
Miami's too flashy for
Georgia.
us. Yeah, Georgia.
Alabama.
But you gotta get
Alabama, South
USA in
Carolina.
your head. Like
It's just-
USA, different colors in the mullet.
He looked like a
Miami-
young Richie Incognito, I thought. I was
Oh, yeah, not a bad call.
It's not a bad call.
Thank you.
Not a fan of mullets, but I thought that was funny.
Yeah,
It's funny. It is what it is.
It's a cheesy moment.
Yeah.
That's why it's called cheesy, Dave.
Yeah, right.
Okay. All right, this is a strange moment. Tennessee had a player run off the field and quit in the middle of the third quarter. Cortez Sapp, he's a redshirt junior linebacker. He, in 2014, took a bath in his recruiting letters. That went viral back then as well. So big time recruit, ended up at Tennessee. His Twitter and Instagram handle is @dedicated_to work. Not a great look. That is what we call irony. And then Jeremy Pruitt, after the game, said he's been a great ambassador for us, but he left the field when he was asked to go in the game, and he refused to do so. I don't know what happened before, but we're not doing that. I asked him to leave.
Hand up here. I think I know what happened before. Tennessee got their teeth kicked in, and he wanted no part of being part of this massacre, which I was a part of. And if someone said, "Hey, Dave, get in the game," I'd be like, "No thanks."
I actually someone wanted me to get in a Tennessee game right now, I would not. I would not.
Right.
I didn't know if he was meaning before, like when Butch Jones was there, or if he meant before the game.
The way I'm reading this is he got kicked off the team. The coach is like, "Hey, you're up, buddy," and it's like, no thanks, I'm good.
Yeah.
And he's like, "See ya."
Yeah, no, I didn't know if he meant before.
Vontae Davis copycat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's made it okay to
But
quit.
this guy sounded like he got kicked off.
Yeah.
He just didn't want to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I actually am on his side.
Yeah, I am too.
Who would
Tennessee's
ever,
so bad.
in the third quarter, go in Florida? No.
Well, and also, now that you can play 4 games and still transfer, maybe he just was like, I don't even want to flirt with that. I just want to go somewhere else.
Or maybe he's like, this is embarrassing, and I don't want to ever have it on my resume that I was in this game.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay. Well, so no, we don't hate the move.
No, I actually respect it.
Okay.
Sometimes
Big
you're
time
associated with something so embarrassing, you just have to be like, I'm out.
I'm out.
All right. Well, let's get to the Panera locks of the week. Dave, I'll let you start.
I don't like doing totals, but I need a win. It doesn't say the total on here. Oklahoma, Baylor, over 68.5. Here's the deal. Listen good, listen hard, listen fast. Baylor, they throw the ball. They're not Army, no triple option, so Oklahoma's going to keep getting the ball back. Where the either Baylor goes 3 and out or they score quickly. So Oklahoma will keep getting the ball, plenty of chances, 68.5. This is an unsexy pick. I thought about, like, I want to give a side, I want to give a game that everyone cares about. And then I thought, Dave, what's more important? Just giving winners. So that's what this pick is, a winner.
There you go. Do we know our records for these?
Yeah, we do, and I don't have. Okay, for the locks of the week,
So I'm
Dan, you and I are
3-0.
3-0.
Yeah, I'm 3-0.
Tommy's 1-2.
3-0.
Dave's 1-2, and Big Ev is 1-0.
Okay.
guys
I'm
are
doing
3-0, huh?
yeah,
3-0.
yeah.
Very
And
nice.
I like
Congratulations.
to get my game,
nice
my
of you,
lock of the
Dave.
week out of the way very early. That way I can just win it and forget it, and that's why I'm taking Rutgers, Indiana over 51. Rutgers can't stop anyone. Indiana can play up, speed it up. I think this game is going to go over fast. And it's 11 a.m.
How many do you think you need from Indiana?
From Rutgers, you mean?
I guess either way.
I think it's more how many do you need from Rutgers. I think I'm going to need
Well, you could do
10
the math
points
on
from
either way,
Rutgers.
so then you're saying you're getting 41 from Indiana.
Yeah.
So
I need
you
10
could
points
do
from
that either
Rutgers.
way.
Yeah. But I feel like Rutgers is going to be the one that's harder to score.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Because they.
But if you said you need 40 from Indiana,
yeah, but
then you
when you
need
do
10
the math,
from Rutgers.
right? But when you do the math, being like I need 40 from Indiana, that's daunting. Saying I need 10 from Rutgers, that's pie.
Yeah. I don't know what it is from Rutgers.
Pie.
I have Wyoming.
I like cake, by the way. in that phrase.
What?
That's
Pie?
cake. I think it's cake. That's cake.
It's easy as pie.
It's both. It just depends on.
Whatever.
Why do we assume cake and pie are just easy?
I don't know if I like pie or cake more.
That's
Ice cream
cake
cake.
or easy as pie.
I think I like pie more. Yeah.
But in that
Depends on the pie.
scenario, that's cake, that's pie. I think it's always cake. That's
Apparently,
cake.
I learned to crawl by them putting a blueberry pie on the other side of the room, and I love blueberry pie, so I crawled over to it.
Happy we kept this conversation.
But I don't love blueberry pie nowadays. I'm taking Wyoming plus 17 home against Boise
You were
State.
a dog. You were a dog
That's-
as a child.
yeah.
You were a dog.
No, you were a dog. I do
Yeah,
have
I
a
can
stealth.
listen.
Tommy.
Yeah. Nice.
I like that. That's from the Dave Portnoy playbook right there.
Yeah, I like
A dog off.
Being a 4-year-old.
Yeah, you were a dog. You were a dog.
He was a dog off.
He's the young apprentice.
Wyoming plus 17. I got a few reasons here. Boise State not the same away from that blue field. Josh Allen had that hurdle last week. Got Wyoming on my mind. Third, Jackson Hole, Wyoming is one of my favorite cities in America. Been there in 2012. Really beautiful, really charming. Here's a fun story. I went out to a restaurant, high-scale restaurant with my parents. We had onion rings as an appetizer. Really nice, good onion
Not
rings.
high scale.
Big onion rings. Well, it was good. Like they had ranch dressing for it.
Definitely not high scale.
Definitely not high
Definitely
scale.
not
You
high
had
scale.
ranch dressing and onion
I'm not
rings
like
and
a
high
cream,
scale.
like a light cream ranch. Anyway, this father and daughter were eyeing down their onion rings. My mom, and they were like, "Oh, what are those?" And well, they shouldn't be able to tell. My mom was like, "Oh, they're onion rings. You want to try?" That was an egregious move by my mom, trying to give away one of her onion rings to another table. I've literally never forgiven her for that.
That is
Wyoming plus 17.
that is a shocking story. Did they take one?
No. I mean, I would not have let
Oh
them take
my
one.
God.
But still, like
What
to
is your
this day,
mom
the fact that my
thinking?
mom thought that was acceptable, just like you never give. I hate sharing food with people at my table. Just give away an onion ring to someone at another table. It was egregious. I bring it up to her every so often.
Tommy, I mean, you've told me that your parents actually kind of like me. I don't know if I can like your mom anymore. That's outrageous.
I agree.
What would be weirder though, if the table took it or the fact that she offered it to you?
No, I think the table has every right to take it
Oh
at that
yeah,
point.
if it's on the table. Well, no.
If you get offered,
I would not take
I would
food
not
from
take-
somebody else's
yeah.
table.
I'd do it just to show them up
I would absolutely take the onion ring
Yeah.
to taste it and see if I want to order it.
and show them up and be like, "This was a mistake
What?
by you."
You would?
If I
If a
first of all, I
if a
love.
table of strangers, if a table of
If
strangers
someone's
asked
just
you-
like, "Hey, you want an onion ring?" Yeah. If I haven't sat down,
just handed you a
yes,
plate across the
yes,
table?
yes,
sure.
absolutely. First of all,
Zero
I
chance.
love onion rings, but I'm very particular, so I would welcome
they
the
were
chance.
good onion rings.
Yeah, so I'd welcome the chance
Yeah.
to taste it.
There you go. Big Ev, you want to come give your Panera lock of the week?
My lock of the week this week, Oklahoma State going on
Bounce
the road.
back.
Yep, huge bounce back game.
I
They
like that
got crushed against Texas Tech last week.
I like that
going
pick.
to Kansas. Does break my heart. Their starting right tackle is actually a good friend of mine. He just transferred from Ohio State. Brought some of that good mojo. But this week, no sir. Oklahoma State, big 3-4 touchdowns.
I like that.
I'm going with FAU versus Middle Tennessee. They're -4. They can't hang with the big boys. Lane Kiffin talking a bunch of shit about UCF last week. That backfired, but I think they're better than Middle Tennessee. So I'm going to go FAU. Let's go to the top 10s. The people's top 10?
Yes.
10. Pretty similar. Big surprises. We actually coming into a big game. West Virginia, I believe, for the first time since week first show, left off this list.
Ooh.
Who replaced them?
Auburn. Auburn snuck in.
How? Why?
Honestly,
Auburn didn't even look that good last
They
week.
got outgained by Arkansas.
They did cover though. That was my
Yeah, I know.
loss. Huge,
So
huge
bad.
late
They got
cover.
outgained.
Yeah,
Huge
and-
late cover.
Yeah, I don't know how you have Auburn on
The
that
people
list.
spoke.
People.
I don't,
I'm naming the people, so
I
I'm
don't
going with
like,
the people,
I don't
but-
like that number 5. I don't even think they should be recognized.
That's tough luck. Tough take.
And what about the bottom?
All right, spin around. There you go. The bottom 10.
Rutgers. Ooh, Florida State.
See, I
mean,
think
that's-
Illinois. I think Illinois should be off the list just because they were covering for a lot of that.
Yeah, but they ended up
Yeah.
getting slaughtered.
Yeah, I know.
This
but
list
that's-
is weird.
Do we have bottom 10 matchups?
I mean, Arizona won last week. Florida State won last week.
Yeah, but Florida State's so bad.
They are
Awful.
bad, but I mean, how
Awful.
can they be on there if I mean, they're better than Northern Illinois.
Even though I picked against them, I still
it's gonna
another
be
week in a
Power
row.
Five.
Kansas should not be on there. 2 wins. 2 wins when
Kansas?
they're like
No, Kansas is
they're
still
just
really bad.
they're just the perennial worst
Yeah.
Power 5 team.
They
Everyone knows
they
that.
have an image problem. They need to win. Mark
They need to go up with
Mangini
a
needs to
500
come
season.
back for them to get that image problem fixed.
All right, let's see what else is on the top 10. You want to start with Tommy?
Yep.
Start with Tommy.
Tommy, big
Tommy,
shape up.
what are you doing?
Big
Mississippi
shake.
State?
Well, look, can't call me unbiased. They lost the game. They had to drop to number 2. But Mississippi State still controls their own. They have a game against Alabama. They'll beat them, top 2 teams in the country. So unbiased. I had to drop on the ranking. You lose to Kentucky by like 21 points. You got to drop a little. Everything else, Michigan sneak in my
I
top
like
10 for the
having
first
Michigan
time.
there. Some would say Kentucky deserves to be in ahead of Mississippi State, but who knows?
Well, others would disagree, and that other would be me.
Okay. Good job, Tommy.
Big Cat?
Thanks, Cat.
Okay, not a lot of shake up at the top. Still got LSU, BYU. Wisconsin snuck in at the 9.
back in.
Yeah. Well, no, they were 10 last week on
they
my
moved up.
rankings, so they've moved up.
They beat Iowa.
West Virginia's 10. I think that's a pretty strong top. Nice 7-8 game this weekend. Ohio State's playing Penn State. Penn State's
So you don't
ranked
have
30.
Oklahoma either?
No, because I didn't like what they did with Army.
Yep. I didn't have them in there last week, and I
Got to penalize them.
maintain that. They're not in there.
Okay. Oh, wow, Kentucky.
Kentucky?
Yeah. I mean, well, they win big at home versus a ranked team, undefeated. It's a
Okay.
pretty great.
I like that West Virginia ranking.
Yep.
Yeah?
No, that's a good top 10.
I think the one we really want to see is Casey's. This is
I got a wrinkle for you guys this week.
Uh-oh.
All right, so
Ohio
There we
State.
go.
I had a little bit of a shakeup, but
Where the hell's Wisconsin?
I did not put one team in my top 10 that has lost a game, so that nobody can tell me that I'm wrong. Every single
smart.
team
Casey's
on that
smart.
list
I
is
love
undefeated.
it. I love it.
My favorite top 10
standing-
of the year.
Smart.
I love it.
Tommy went from mansplaining to giving me a
Yeah,
standing
the best
ovation.
top 10 I've seen.
Yeah, so I dropped Oklahoma because even though I'm not overreacting to their loss or their almost loss, the triple option's frustrating, whatever. But every single team on that list is undefeated.
Does LSU
beautiful, Casey.
have to beat like the 85 Bears to get up into the
No.
beyond 500?
They were up there. They were number 2 last week,
So
but
why'd they drop?
just because I thought that the other 3 teams looked better last week.
They didn't cover against LA Tech.
I mean, Georgia didn't look good against Missouri. Clemson didn't
But they-
really look good.
but
Ohio
they- but
State
Georgia played-
covered
no,
domestic
Clemson
assault.
killed Georgia Tech.
Yeah, and Georgia also played a conference game. LSU played a
but
non-conference.
Ohio State, so much for women.
I mean, I've already said on record I do not like Urban Meyer,
That is true.
but they are the second most talented team in the country.
I think it's a great top 10.
Yeah,
great
me
job.
too.
Great job.
thanks.
Great job.
I can't tell if you guys are patronizing me
No,
or. But
not
no,
on
I mean-
Nice Dave Day.
Well, I mean, every single team on that list is undefeated, so you can't really tell me that it's wrong.
I have no problem with it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What a difference a week makes. Anything else before we end the show?
Great show, guys.
Yeah.
Great show. We didn't
of
yell at
fun.
each other. Tommy didn't mansplain anything to me.
Good job.
Correct.
Good job, Tommy.
I held my tongue back. There's so many times like, oh, I gotta mansplain this to Kayce here, but I said
He doesn't
no.
want to mansplaining.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. That would be
All right.
gaslighting.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys next week.